Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Kevin. Kevin is from Belgium. So let's see what Kevin has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello.
Hello. Hi there.
Hello, Hello, Kevin. How are you?
Hi, William. I'm fine. I'm fine. Thanks for asking. How are you?
I'm very well. Thanks so much for taking the time this evening. Thank you.
You're well. Thank you for allowing me to be on your show.
Absolutely. So tell me, how is your day going so far?
Well, I had work today. I went to work around 8:30. Well, I arrived at work at 8:30, and then I think it was 5:15 that I went home. So it was a good day. It was a nice day.
And
Wasn't too busy.
uh-huh.
Just the right amount of busy.
And what do you do for work, for living?
Yeah. So I work in administration
Hmm.
for the water company of the city of Antwerp.
I see. And what do you like the most about your job?
Well, it's a recent job change I did. So right now I'm still in training.
Uh-huh.
But I've been there for just over a month now, and I enjoy it. It's work I like doing. It's working with spreadsheets. It's working with numbers. I like that. I like doing that.
Amazing. And tell me where you're from, Kevin.
I'm from Capellen, which is a small town to the north of Antwerp.
Ah, so you're close to Antwerp.
Yeah, yeah. So I work in Antwerp,
Uh,
but I live not too far from Antwerp.
Amazing. So tell me something interesting about your city, the town where you come from.
Something. Well, we're not too far from the border with the Netherlands, and every year um, we have what's called the Grensfeesten, which is loosely translated to Border Festival.
Uh-huh.
So it's a festival that literally happens in the streets that goes from Belgium to the Netherlands. So it's the
Wow.
whole street. It's like I think it's 3 kilometers or 4 kilometers. It's full of. It's just the one street. It's a festival. It's
That's
amazing. It's once
interesting.
a year. Yeah,
Oh,
and
wow.
I think it's gonna be soon actually. Yeah. I think it's gonna be in October.
Ah, amazing. Oh, wow. That's interesting to get the two countries together. I
Mhm.
love that.
Yeah.
So I believe your first language is Flemish.
Yeah, yeah,
I,
that's true. Yeah. So
I
yeah,
see.
Flemish, but it's Dutch. Let's be honest.
Yes, it's interesting because I've been to Antwerp a few
Hmm.
times. I've been to Brussels, and actually one of my best friends he lives in Helmond, near to Eindhoven,
Helmand, yes.
yeah, in Holland. So it's all close by, so it's all
Hmm.
easy to walk around and drive somewhere to visit. I love going to that area for sure.
Hmm.
Kevin, so before we start the interview, of course, yeah, you are one of the candidates for Mr. Bear Belgium 2025. Wow.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
tell me, when the opportunity came along, tell me how you decide to be part of the competition. Walk me through a little bit more about the journey so far.
Yeah. So actually, I already participated before. I did it 3 years ago. Obviously, I didn't win then because otherwise I wouldn't be competing again.
Uh-huh.
Um, but the reason I joined the competition is because, well, I've been in a rather bad space a few years ago,
Mhm.
and then someone from the bear community in Belgium, he was like, "Oh, you know what? You should join this Facebook group, and it's called the Belgian Bears." So then I joined it, and they did a whole lot of events. And one of the events go to is the Mr. Bear Belgium election, and that was the first major event I actually did in the bear community, which is that's gonna be 7 years ago now.
Oh, wow.
And I felt at ease. The people were so welcoming. The people were so warm, and they actually, yeah, they picked me up from my dark spot, and that's why I want to compete, because I want to be the person they were for me as well.
That's amazing. Oh, wow. And so how does it work? You already sign up for it, you need to do like application, and through this year now you're gonna kind of work on it.
Yeah. So somewhere around May, June, the you can, how do you say it? You can
Apply?
actually, yeah, sorry, yeah, you can apply to be a candidate, and then you get an interview with the committee, and they
Yeah.
decide if you are a candidate or not.
Interesting.
Yeah. So by the time, well, this year there's a whole new committee because um, the previous chairman, he, well, last year was his last year, so he was going to quit. That was already decided. So
Okay.
it's a new committee this year. So it's people I do know them, but not in the capacity that they are working in now.
I
So
see.
that's challenging sometimes, but it's also a fun. Yeah,
For sure.
it's fun so far. Yeah, it's been fun.
Absolutely. I think being part of those competitions, you're already a winner. As soon as you start the journey, you should feel as a winner already, because being part of those events, it's unique. You've been there before, so you know how it works, the feelings, the emotions, So I think just being part of it is already a big thing. You know what I mean? Of course, everyone wants to win, but, just like step in those competitions, it's already a big thing that's you're always going to remember for sure.
True. That is true.
Right. So during the interview, Kevin, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your life and also about your point of views. Okay.
Okay.
Are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Yes.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend. Full of wonderful questions. Okay. I'm just going to play a song now just for us to relax before the first question. All right.
Okay.
Let's do it. Okay, so before we start the game, during the interview, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, some reason you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Okay.
First question for you is, what is your favorite place in the entire world and why?
Ooh, it's my favorite place in the entire world. Um, that's that's gonna be where my friends are. That's it. I know that sounds cheesy, but it's just when you are with friends, they just make the area better. So,
And your friends, they are based in the same city as you or not?
no, they're all over Belgium.
Mm-hmm.
But we mostly, when we meet up, it's in Brussels.
I
Or,
see.
of course, you have different friend groups. I see most of them I see in Brussels.
Uh-huh.
Some of them I see in Antwerp, because, I'm also part of a board game group in Antwerp, so I see those people as well regularly. And also
Mm-hmm.
part of a card game group, which is also based in Antwerp. Um, but they're different people, so
I see. And how far are you from Antwerp?
oh, it's 15 minutes. It's not that
Oh,
far.
so it's very close.
Yeah, it's
It's
very
very
close.
close. I see. Okay. Next question. Let's do it. Okay, Kevin, next question is, if you could live anywhere in the world, where that would be and why?
Anywhere in the world. I've actually thought about this before, and I don't mind living in Belgium actually.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's a lot of people they're like, oh, I want to live abroad. I want to go to Australia. I want to go to Spain. I want to go to the US. And I'm like, eh, I like Belgium. I can stay here my whole life if I want to.
And why do you think Belgium it's a great place to be? That you feel, of course, you're born there, but what's something about the country that you go like, you know what? I'm very proud of being part of, of being Belgium.
Mhm. Well, as a Belgian, um, I'm not going to say it's the best country in the world. Absolutely not. But we have we have amazing healthcare. We
Mm-hmm.
have social protections. Um, we have um, employee laws that actually protect the employees. Um, so all those things together, they provide a safety net for people, and that is actually what I like about Belgium. Because even if you get down on your luck, there will always be a way to get back up again,
Mm-hmm.
and
I
that's what I
see.
like about Belgium.
And your family, they live in the same town as you or not?
They live in the same town as I do.
I
Well,
see.
well, my parents actually, I still live with my parents, so of course, of course, they live in the same. No, but most of my family actually they live in this town.
I see.
Um, the furthest is an aunt of mine, and she lives in Eindhoven, not far from Helmond.
Okay. Ah, okay. And you have brothers and sisters as well?
I have one sister. Yeah,
I see.
she's a year younger than me.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, she doesn't live in this town, but she lives like 20 minutes away, which is too far for my parents, but it's okay for me.
And which person in your family you feel more close to, you feel more connected with?
Hmm. My grandma.
Oh, that's sweet.
When I was younger, like child, I spent a lot of time with at my grandma's place,
Uh-huh.
um, because she was alone most of the time. My grandfather still went to work, even though uh, he was retired, but he still went to work with his brothers because they had a huge greenhouse,
Okay.
so they kept care of it. So he was gone most days. And then I spent more time with my grandmother. So we watched TV together, we played games together, went to the shop together. We did a lot of things together. Yeah,
Oh, and she's still with us or
yeah,
not? Yeah.
she's still alive. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
sweet. Okay, so let's see that she's watching this interview right now, and you have a moment, an opportunity to send her a message. What would you say to her? You can say in Flemish first, and after you say in English.
That's a difficult one because well, she's not feeling that well lately. Moeke, ik weet dat je mij de tijd niet zo vaak meer ziet, maar weet dat ik je nog altijd heel graag heb. Dat ik je nog altijd heel graag zie. En dat ik alles dat wij samen gedaan hebben, dat dat mij altijd gaat bijblijven. So, what I just said was, so Moeke, that's the name of that's the name we gave my grandma. Um, I know I haven't been there a lot lately, but do know that what we did together, the times we spent together, I will always cherish those.
Oh, that's sweet. What's her name?
Maria.
Maria. Okay, next time you see her, please tell her that I sent my love for her as well. Okay, and I hope she gets better soon. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, sweet, very sweet. Next question, let's do it. Before the next question, Kevin, tell me how was for you growing up as a gay boy, in your town. Tell me about your experience. Did you have the support of your family? It was difficult. Walk me through a little bit about your experience.
Well, actually, as a small boy, I never really gave any attention to what I was interested in. I just lived my life as I wanted. It was, yeah, when I started hitting puberty and, well, let's be honest, discovered porn. Um, that's when I noticed that I didn't really like the regular porn, and I was more focused on the men in that in the scene. So I was like, hmm, that's strange. Um, I I only came out when I was 21,
Mm-hmm.
so that's a couple of years ago. And at first, the first person I told it to was my aunt because my cousin is also gay.
Ah, okay.
So she had experience with that. So I was like, she was the first I was gonna tell it to.
Uh-huh.
The second person I told it to was my grandma,
Wow. Wow. And did you?
and
Yep. Carry on.
yeah, and she didn't understand it, which is okay, but she also didn't throw me away because, I knew she would still love me.
Uh-huh.
Um, and actually, I think the last people I told it to were my parents.
Uh-huh.
And well, they didn't take it that well. I told it to my parents. I told it to my sister. Um, they didn't take it that well, actually. So I went to stay with my grandma a few days then, and eventually, well, my parents, my mother, she talked to my father. My father, he talked to his parents, so my other grandparents, and they were like, "See, there's two options in this. Either you start loving him again and accept him for who he is, or you don't, and then you lose him."
Wow. It's so interesting how the grandparents, they come from another generation and they
Hmm.
have that more open-minded place that's is interesting sometimes, because as you said, sometimes you felt a bit afraid to tell your grandmother because she's older, she would understand. However, you can get surprised from elderly people because
Hmm.
it's something about them that's special. I think they see us in such a special way, as you said. And maybe she doesn't understand, but she just loves the person who you are because she knows you. She knows the person who you are. It doesn't matter what you like, your preference or your orientation. It's about you. That's what she likes. I think that's beautiful. Wow, I love the story. Okay, next question is: if one day you met someone sad in the streets, yeah, what would
Hmm.
be your approach or your advice to this person?
I think that depends.
Mm-hmm.
It, if someone is like really sobbing, really going all out, I would first see if there's something in the area that is making them that way. Um, I don't know. I think it would be hard for me to approach them,
Mm-hmm.
but I would try to
Yeah.
and ask them just what's going on? Why are you why are you crying? Why are you sad? What is making you feel this way?
Hmm. Yeah, I believe sometimes when we are sad for some reason and we feel alone, sometimes you just need someone just to talk a little bit or just to express something. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? And sometimes they want to be left alone as well. Like they don't want
Yeah.
to think. So it all depends as well. I agree with you. It depends the situation, it depends the place, the local,
Mhm.
just the energy, how you feel to approach or not.
Yeah. Because sometimes when people are sad, they don't want to talk about it, but they also don't want to be alone. So I know that because sometimes I get that too.
Hmm.
I don't want to talk about it. I just want someone to be around at that time.
Amazing. And when you think about yourself, Kevin, when you analyze yourself, what's the biggest joy of being you? What do you like the most about being Kevin?
Well, the thing I like the most about myself is I consider myself a funny person.
Uh-huh.
Um, Not always appropriately funny, but funny nonetheless. Um, yeah, I think I'm generally just a joy to be around.
Oh, amazing. Good. Ready for another question?
I'm ready for another question.
Let's do it. Next one. Hey, next question is, what do you miss the most from your childhood and why?
Ooh, the most from my childhood. Um, the innocence, actually. It's
Uh-huh.
like sometimes when you're young, when you're a child, life is easy because you don't know a lot of things, but you for you think everything's gonna be okay, everything's gonna be all right, because why wouldn't it? And I think that starts going away when you get older. And no, that's one of the things I miss about being younger me.
Wow. And tell me, when you think about your childhood, tell me the very first memory that comes to your mind that you always remember.
Ooh, that's gonna be in kindergarten. Um,
Oh.
I never really liked going to school, not even kindergarten. So I already spent a lot of time with at my grandmother's place back then, and the school wasn't that far from where she lived. It was like 300 meters. When we had to go to school, I hid in bed because I didn't want to go. There was the first memory that really comes to mind is my grandmother. She broke her leg a few times
Right.
back then, and so instead of sleeping upstairs, they had a bed. She had a bed downstairs, and I tried hiding in the bed to make sure I wouldn't go to school, which is stupid because I tried it every time, and of course, they found me. They knew where I was. but but the thing is, my grandma, she always tried to hide me,
Uh-huh.
so she was in on it. And well, even if it wasn't convincing, that's one of the first things I remember.
And at school, growing up at school, did you learn Flemish or Dutch or French? What was the main language?
Yeah, so in Belgium, in Flanders, in the school, we get taught something called AN, Algemeen Nederlands, which is Common Dutch, which is like the base language for Flanders, because Flanders is actually a small region, but we
Mhm.
have a lot of dialects. So there are uh, people from a few villages over. The dialects they use different words for different things. We wouldn't understand what they were talking about if they were talking in their dialect.
Wow.
So to unify Flanders, they installed AN, so Common Dutch, uh, to have, well, to be able to understand each other without
Uh-huh.
speaking dialect.
Wow. Interesting. Interesting. So nowadays you can speak Flemish and Dutch or
Yeah,
French as well.
yeah, I speak, well, I commonly I speak Flemish, um, which most people can understand in Flanders.
Yeah.
In the Netherlands as well, most people in the Netherlands they can understand Flemish, because it's a sub, it's actually a sub language of Dutch, so it's very similar. I do speak a bit of French as well. We've been taught, well, we've been taught French since we were 10 years old.
Wow.
I'm not gonna say I'm good at it, but I'm trying. Also, I'm doing Duolingo now, so I can I can get better at it.
And did you learn English at school or did you have like a private school for English?
We also learned that at school. It was in middle school. I think it was the second or the third year. Um, but I actually didn't learn it in school. I learned it from playing video games.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. I have a friend back in Brazil as well that he literally, and fun enough, his mom is an English teacher and she had a private school. She still has a private school where I learned English there. I had the scholarship. She gave the scholarship for me. That's how I learned English. And her son had all the opportunities in the world to learn English because his mom is an English teacher and she had a private school, but he never learned. He literally learned English playing video games, and he still plays. Can you imagine? It's funny,
Mhm.
interesting. Right, I have 3 questions left. Okay, let's do
Okay.
it. You like dancing, Kevin?
Yeah, I like that. I like dancing. I'm not good. I'm not a good dancer, but I like dancing.
Before the next question, as you've been part already a few years ago of the Mr. Bear Belgium competition a few years ago, tell me, what did you learn from that experience? Tell me something that you always took close to your heart for that through that experience that you
Mm.
had.
Well, what I learned then is that even though it is a competition, you need your fellow candidates because one of you is gonna win, but he can't do it alone. And the person who won then, he's a good friend of mine. Because at first I was like, oh, why did he win? Why didn't I win? And I was sad. I was
Of course.
frustrated.
Yeah.
And after a while I was like, oh yeah, I see why he won. Because of course he would win. He's just so much he's so easygoing. He just wants to help people. He's just out there. And I went to a lot of events with him then, and I'm grateful for that because he taught me a lot of things that I can
Amazing.
use now.
Wow, that's amazing. It's interesting because during that time you didn't get a message. You just was wondering, trying to understand why. And after a few time, when you kind of recover a little bit, you said, okay, now I understand things. That's a good thing to be part of. You just kind of learn a little bit more about yourself and about the competition as well. Love it. Amazing. Next question is, if someone gave you an envelope with your death date inside of it, would you open it or not, and why?
I would be tempted, but I wouldn't open it because what if it says I die in 2 minutes?
Yes.
I don't want to know that.
Saying that, what's the meaning of life for you?
The meaning of life for me is finding the joy in life.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to be you don't have to be successful. You don't have to earn a lot of money. You just have to be happy. And for me, that is the meaning of life.
Very good. 2 questions left. Let's do it. Next question is, okay, talking about school, you said that you didn't like school growing up, but who was your favorite teacher?
That's I had so the thing I did in high school, I learned how to be a beautician, and we also had it's called the classitularis. It's the head of our class, so the head teacher, that's the thing I was looking for. She was the one who taught us body care, so that's massages and such.
Oh,
And she noticed things. She noticed a lot, and I once had a very good heart to heart with her,
uh-huh.
and yeah, she helped me back then because I was struggling with myself. I was a teenager. I
Mhm.
was in puberty. I was in the only guy in an all girls class. So
Wow,
I had at that time nobody to talk to about how I felt,
wow,
and she was actually the person I could talk to.
wow. Do you remember her name?
Yes, she was David.
Wow, that's amazing. It's so interesting how teachers, they leave a big impact in our lives. And sometimes they even don't know at the time. They just, they don't see it. They just do their job, doing their job with care, with love. And it just, you connect with them.
Yep,
Beautiful. Last question, ready?
I'm ready.
How do you say last question in Flemish?
Laatste vraag.
Laatst vai.
Vraag.
Hard. Close. I need more,
It's close, yeah.
more lessons. I need more lessons.
Yeah,
Last one.
it's a very it's the G klank is very difficult because there are not a lot of languages that use it. So it's not easy to say because not a lot of languages well use it. So it's yeah, it's difficult.
Okay. Last one. Let's do it. Before the last question, tell me, people watch this interview right now. Maybe they would like to enter the competition to become Mr. Bear Belgium or any other competition, in the LGBTQ plus community. What would be your best piece of advice for those people?
Um, just just do it. Just enjoy it. Just go for it. Be yourself and have a good time. That's all I can. That's all I can. That's all I can tell you. Just go for it, but enjoy yourself.
Okay. Last question is, what gives you butterflies?
Seeing my boyfriend laugh.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I know
Oh,
it's corny, but it's true. It's like the small things. Well, like when you lie in bed in the morning and you look at each other, and then yeah, it's just yeah.
what's the biggest difference between both of you and the biggest similarity?
The biggest difference. Hmm. I don't know actually. That's a good question. The biggest difference between us, it's well, he's a bit further ahead in life than I am.
Okay.
Um, he's able to stay awake a lot longer than I can, and he falls asleep like I can't do that. I toss and turn for at least an hour, and he's just snoring away after 5 minutes, and I'm like, dude, could you not?
And the biggest similarity.
And the biggest similarity, we actually like a lot of the same stuff. So we like going out. So for example, last weekend we went to Brussels
Mm-hmm.
because there was an event on Friday, and I had to be there early, also in Brussels on Saturday. So I was already thinking like, if we need to be there at 10 and the event on Friday is gonna be until I don't know 1, 2 in the morning, maybe we should get a hotel. And it was like, oh, you know what? Maybe we should book a hotel for tomorrow. That's a great idea. Let's do that.
Sweet. And how did your path crossed, if you can share?
Yeah. So the first time we met was 3 years ago when I first participated,
Uh-huh.
and I was standing next to the then Mr. Bear, Jurgen, and we just talked, just talked a bit, and we kept seeing each other at events from time to time. And then last year, during the bear fight in Cologne, um, we we started talking again. We were at the bar, and there was there was some chemistry then. And yeah, so he invited me over. He invited me for to go out sometime earlier this year, and yeah, it went rolling further from there on.
Oh, sweet. Right on the end yet, let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words, just one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Let's start with family.
Closeness.
Okay, money.
Doesn't make you happy.
Fear.
Loneliness.
Life.
Sunshine.
Oh, love.
Hugs.
Sex.
Yes.
Religion.
Well, been there, done that.
Okay. Politics.
Necessary evil.
Friendship.
Closeness again. Yeah.
Desire.
Feelings.
Okay. Regret.
Pain.
Success.
Happiness.
One word for happiness.
Peace.
One word for Belgium.
Underrated.
And the last one now, bear community. One word.
Warmth.
Amazing. Let's pretend now we're going to meet your boyfriend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask him, define Kevin in one positive word and one negative word only, what he'll say.
Likable but anxious.
And if I would ask the same question to your lovely grandmother, she'll say the same?
No, I don't think so. She would. Actually, yeah, she might say the same, yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Let's play now, Kevin, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. But before you ask him the question, what's your favorite Flemish word?
My favorite Flemish word is Gerne. It's like it's usually, well, it's used in a sentence. It's like "zie gerne," and it means I really like you. So the gerne, it's like really, but
I see. It
yeah,
gives some intensity to the word, like
yeah.
give some intensity. I see. Amazing. Okay, you can ask me a question now, Kevin.
Okay. So if you were to think about this day last year and now, what would you say to the person you were a year ago?
What a great question. Wow. Kevin, I had over 1,200 interviews on the show so far, and nobody asked me this question yet. Wow. Okay, so 1 year ago, what I would tell this William, a year ago. Um, okay, I know now. I know. Um, you you are in a place right now that you feel you're feeling very happy. You're feeling, very very lucky. And things are gonna get better. Things gonna get even better. I remember last summer I was feeling happy. I was, feeling grateful. And I was, when you think like when you start, like when you see a time of your life that things are going, just you're just feeling happy for naturally, like genuinely. I was feeling last year this time, and I would tell myself, you know what? Keep doing what you're doing right now, and you're gonna keep with this happiness. It's not gonna be always gonna be up and down, you know what I mean? However, if you keep being the same person, if you keep, thinking the same way as you are, trust me, you're gonna be in the right direction. So when you look back a year ago, for sure, I could tell my William at the time, for sure. Yeah, great question, Kevin. I love the question. Wow, beautiful, beautiful. Did you enjoy the interview?
I enjoyed the interview, yeah.
Thank you so much. Thanks again for taking the time for the interview, and also good luck for you on this new, competition. And it's amazing and very inspiring to know that you already been there, and you took some time again, and you are a different person. It's the same competition, but it's a different Kevin now,
Yeah,
the competition. And I think
absolutely.
very inspiring because sometimes, we enter competitions and of course we want to win, we want to achieve something. However, you're not the time yet. So give some time and you can do it again. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's a good example that you can always do it again. You can always try again. Keep going. You know what I mean? I think it's all part of the journey. Never give up. The no's opens a lot of doors. So just take it as a no, as something to lift you up. And it's inspiring to see you again trying. So good luck and everything.
thank you.
Enjoy this new journey, and I'm sure you're gonna be the best of yours. Just being yourself through the journey. I think that's what matters. Is enjoying the whole journey. That's the beautiful part of it. Before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Yes. Um, Enjoy the time you have because it's the only. No, wait, scratch that. Enjoy life because it's the only one. It's your life.
Absolutely. You are the captain of your boat, so keep going.
Exactly. Just like
Thank you
that.
so Thanks so much for the interview, Kevin. I see you one day in Antwerp, in Brussels, or in Holland. I'm always
Hmm?
there. Actually, I just came. I was I think you were in the Gay Pride in Amsterdam as well, were you?
Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
I was there as well.
Oh,
I was there as well. Absolutely, I was there. Again, I went with my friend from who lives
mhm.
in Helmond. So yeah, I went for the day. Yeah, it was amazing. My goodness, what a energy in Amsterdam. It's the second time that I go for the Gay Pride there, and
Okay.
the energy is just unique. I love
Yeah,
it.
it's a lot.
Amazing.
It's enjoyable. It's amazing. It's enjoyable, but it's a lot.
Yes, a lot happening, a lot of information. Thank you so much. Regards to your grandmother again, okay, and your boyfriend as well, and you keep in touch. It was a pleasure. Okay, thanks so much.
Okay. Thank you.
Take care. Have a good night.
You
Bye bye.
too. Bye.
Bye. Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first subscribe to our channel, and after that just go to our website www.williamandthemagicbox.com and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show, and I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.